Grant Ramey alongside Rob Lewis here. Grant, Exterior Home Solutions Fast Break. Took a little break after the post-game Florida to wait for the selection show. A little more fun to talk about,
Yep.
I think. And it's, it's like the championship game never happened almost, at least when you're
Right.
talking to the players.
When it's a 3-hour turnaround and you just kind of move on to what's next. I thought Tennessee's very impressive this weekend. Extremely impressive what they did against Auburn, the way they scored it against Texas Friday night, the way they battled Florida for 40 minutes against a Florida team that looks like an absolute buzzsaw at times.
They're probably my pick in my bracket after this weekend.
They are extremely tough, the size they have down low and the veteran guards they have and all that stuff. But back to the bracket. Tennessee's going to Lexington. They're the number 2 seed. In the Midwest region with Houston, the number 1 seed, they'll play Wofford at Rupp Arena Thursday, not Friday, going to Cleveland, going to Lexington. It's a short turnaround, but it's close to home. You could have a path to Lexington, to Indy, to wherever you want to go.
I think you trade the short turnaround for Lexington versus Cleveland.
Right.
I mean, and the only downside there for Tennessee fans, Louisville and also Lexington, tickets will be hard to come by.
Right, and Auburn. And congratulations to Auburn being the number 1 overall seed and possibly getting Louisville in Lexington in round 2.
And then how ironic. What kind of a sense of humor could it possibly hit? I mean, you got UCLA. Rick Barnes could play UCLA in round 2.
Yes, after getting Texas in round 2 a year ago.
And then could play Kentucky in the Sweet 16.
Yes, Kentucky's the number 3 in the Midwest.
And not likely since Purdue's a 4 seed, but that possibility is out there.
Tennessee is never far away from Purdue. I don't know what it is about tournaments.
There's a storyline, and after you pass Watford, there's a Rick Barnes storyline in every game.
Yep. I don't know what it is about Purdue, but it doesn't matter if it's a November tournament or if it's the March tournament. It feels like they're never far away from Purdue. It's going to be tough.
Last of the pack. You were in high school. Tennessee got beat by him in the Paradise Jam when Bruce Pearl was the coach. Tyler Smith was on the team.
Okay, that was
lost
my
to Purdue and Robbie Hummel.
It's interesting to go to Lexington. It feels different because
it's going to feel weird.
Tennessee plays in that gym every single year. It's not going to some random city and random.
And am I wrong? Have we ever been to a college gym like this other than Dayton?
Not that I remember. No, Dayton's the only one that I remember, and just one that you're familiar with.
Yeah, it's just
going to be different.
It's going to be way different. I mean, and I think it's going to be an advantage for Tennessee. I mean, you would hope that maybe with the first couple round matchups you wouldn't need it, but I think that is an advantage playing in familiar environment.
It is, and what's funny is we just asked Kai Ziegler about it, and he said, "Wait, it's at Rupp." Like he had no idea. He just said he saw Lexington pop up on the screen, and he hadn't thought about the venue or where they would be playing. So it's going to feel different. But man, the number 2 seed. It's about as good as you can do if you're not going to be obviously a number 1 seed, but not only a 2, but a high number 2.
And I would also say, I mean, even though Tennessee just beat Auburn this weekend, I think Tennessee might match up better with Houston than anybody else, any other 1 seed.
Yeah, and that's what impressed me the last couple of days is they played 2 number 1 seeds, and they beat one of them, and they played another one for 35 minutes.
And then I thought the Florida game was calling the dogs and put out the fire. I thought that was over about 13 or 14 minutes left in the game. And Tennessee, I mean, they fought back.
To go from down 13 to cutting it to 5 on, I think, 3 or 4 different occasions. It's just Florida had an answer. They were relentless. They got to the foul line. They hit threes, whatever they needed to do.
I'm with you. I mean, I think Florida looks great. I mean, it's one game. It's basketball. Crazy things happen. But they look a million times better than Auburn right now. It's not close.
100%. And it's you kind of try to – it's almost like a mind game this time of year because if you're feeling good about your team, sometimes that means you're about to get bounced early. If you're feeling bad about your team, sometimes that means second weekend.
Well, no, I was talking about this with a name drop. Chris Lowe and I were talking about this just after the game. Last year, Tennessee gets murdered by Mississippi State here in their first round and make the Elite Eight.
Right.
2022,
you win the tournament.
You win the whole thing.
You won 15 of 17, and you get bounced in the second round
by a bad Michigan team.
Number 11 seed Michigan, a very average Michigan team. In 2023, you had no Zakai, torn ACL. Everybody left you for dead, and you go to the Sweet 16.
Beat Duke in the round of 32. So anything can happen. It's a magical time of year. It's a great time of year. And Tennessee, I mean, they've got a seat at the table. They are a significant part of this tournament. Now, what they do with it, who knows? But I mean, there's a clear path to the Elite Eight, and frankly, that looks. When you talk about how tough the matchup was last year with Purdue, that looks. I mean, Houston's really good, but to me, them and Tennessee are very similar.
Yeah, and I think Rick mentioned after the Alabama game when they had a big win, like you don't want to be a happy basketball team because that's when trouble starts. And I think he's going to spend the next couple of days pointing out how they got beat on the boards by Florida, how they got pushed around in the post, how Florida did what they wanted to do, and he's going to get this team motivated going to Lexington based on that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be very hard. And again, I mean, it's a proud team. You got a couple of seniors in Zakai and Jemai that this stuff means something to, and they want to. I mean,
you want those veteran guards this time of year that have been there, that have been through it, and are kind of pissed off.
And it means something to Zakai Ziegler to go out on a high note.
Right, 100%.
100%. He's Grant Ramey. I'm Rob Lewis. Going to be an exciting week on the General's Quarters. We'll have coverage for Lexington coming up. This has been the Exterior Home Solutions Fast Break on Volquest.com.